This story smells, and this time it's not because Swalwell farted. I think all this, sorry, I'm a juvenile. What can I do? It's just amazing that the whole time you had Democrats shouting Russia, 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 it was to cover up China, China, China. And it goes back to what Jesse said in the previous block. There's a lot of people that are sadly depending on China. And China's whole goal is to be the #1 superpower economically and everything else and beat us. And the fact that we have a lot of our political leaders and a lot of our tech giants somehow tied into this, it's kind of scary. I just want to have someone in the media to finally admit that the only world leader to get China's number and shout it to the world was Trump. But I think if you make that first concession, you fear that there might be more, and you're right.
Emily, wouldn't it be right, though, to prove wrongdoing before punishing the congressman by taking him off the Intel Committee?
Well, I think especially with this threat, it's better to be safe than sorry. Now, this November marked the 2-year anniversary of the DOJ's China initiative, which ran essentially countering efforts to the People's Republic of China, ongoing efforts to enrich themselves on an economic and military standpoint. Because of America, they're using America to do this, to Greg's first point. So I think that everything that we do needs to acknowledge the fact that this threat is totally paramount, and it also affects us in so many different arenas. And during just the last 2 years alone, the DOJ has charged 10 individuals with economic espionage, all of which had nexuses back to China in the form of their trade secrets. We don't have enough time for me to detail the amount of charges, prosecutions, and convictions the DOJ has undergone in the last 2 years, but believe me, there's a lot. And it undergoes everything from academic institutions to them countering former intelligence officials and convicting of conspiring to give trade secrets away. So I think, you know, it does us no good to be sorry rather than safe in this regard. And if Swalwell is sort of the peon in the middle, then that's what China targeted him as well.
Well, just picking up on that, Dana, so isn't it entirely possible that he's a victim of a Chinese intelligence operation?
Well, that's what happened, right? The FBI found out about it. They approached him, and apparently he cooperated with them. And, okay, so fine. But I'm happy to have a briefing. I do think that the FBI maybe should have let more people know, because if China has this operation all across America, where they're targeting city council members who then might have the opportunity to move up to higher office, then, yeah, we should definitely know about it. But think about the scrutiny that people in the Trump administration got if they even walked by the Russian ambassador's residence. That was considered proof that there was something nefarious going on. I think that getting a briefing on this by the FBI seems pretty much easy to do, and they should do it quickly.
Jesse, just refresh my memory. What happened to the congressional investigation into Trump's secret Chinese bank account? How'd that go?
I don't know what you're getting at, Juan, but I will say this. Bill
they
Clinton,
didn't do an investigation. They didn't investigate
I see what you're saying, because he had an old bank account that he closed when he was a business. Yeah, when he opened up a bank account in China, as businessmen do when they're trying to cut deals, and then he closed it when there was no deal cut. Yeah. Not a $6 million wire from the communist Chinese to the son of the vice president. Totally different. But let me just get back to what I was saying, Juan. Bill Clinton must be thinking to himself, wow, maybe if Monica had been a Chinese spy, I wouldn't have gotten in so much trouble. Honestly, politicians in both parties have slept with other men, other women, interns, staff, congressional pages, escorts, and they paid a serious price. But a Democrat congressman sleeps with a Chinese spy, and what do they say? Hey, maybe be more careful next time? I mean, what did they do to Trump because something happened in a bed in Moscow? He nearly got impeached, and that was fake. Now, Swalwell's literally in bed with China, with an asset of the regime, and they want him to what? Do nothing. Do nothing, and the FBI won't even brief the Republicans about this. They've canceled 2 briefings in a row about this. Think about that, Juan.